Elon Musk, the tech lord. If we substitute his existence for establishing human colonies on Mars, we won't be joking or wrong at any point in time. Elon Musk has his tentacles stuck up in every sphere of humankind, and now the biggest of them is touching something far beyond the sky, and that is Mars. Today on Just Tech, we'll be discussing the solid plans Elon Musk has and how he has been training SpaceX to colonize the Red Planet. Let's keep something clear here though, NASA has never tried sending anyone to Mars, and here Elon found the opportunity. But more than an opportunity, we must realize that in the near future, the Earth might become uninhabitable to live for humankind. Elon founded SpaceX, the rocket company valued at billions in 2002. Thinking of inhabiting Mars sounds enticing, but let's first get to know some facts about our supposedly new home. This red planet is one of our closest habitable planets to Earth. Even though it's around 140 million miles away, it still gets decent sunlight and cold. This cold could easily be curbed by warming up though. The atmosphere of Mars can be compressed to grow plants. The atmosphere comprises of a lot of CO2, coupled with nitrogen and argon. The Earth takes about 24 hours to complete a day and night cycle. The Mars takes about 24 hours and 37 minutes. Now about gravity, which is the most important aspect of all. Mars has a gravity of 38% of the Earth, meaning if you weigh 100 pounds on Earth, you would weigh 38 pounds on the Red Planet. But before I tell you about Elon's plan to inhabit this red planet, make sure you subscribe to our channel, Just Tech, and dive with us into a world full of tech and science. Don't forget to like and share this video so that all your techie friends could know something about their new red home. Listening to all this, you might think that living on Mars is easy, but the tech lord has something else to say. Elon Musk says that in reality, the people on Mars would die, but only after they're completely satisfied with their Mars exploration. Now, this might seem quite different from what everyone believes Musk is thinking of, but Elon does have a complete plan. According to the details, it would take around 6 months to reach Mars. It would also take an amount of around 1,000 spaceships and 1 million tons of vitamin C to make life on Mars a real possibility. Elon Musk believes that life on Mars can only be achievable if there's a self-sustaining city there. One of the major obstacles in completing the goal is the issue of ship refill. The issues of ships coming down to Earth from Mars after landing there is one that has been a topic of heated discussion for an awfully long time. NASA also confirmed that the spaceships will be used for the continuation of life on the Red Planet and not for the tourist travel. Another thing that must have been kept in mind is the fact that Mars is slightly different in terms of living conditions. Thus, people might find a little bit of a difficulty, especially without enough supplies, for them to last on the intended time to stay on the planet. Interestingly, SpaceX hopes to send up a Starship on the back of a super heavy booster which Musk commonly refers to as the Big Falcon rocket, or BFR, carrying nearly 13 tons into space. SpaceX claims that it owns the most powerful space rocket booster that will be able to carry about a few hundred tons of space before the eventual 1,000 tons. This BFR, on which Musk holds a lot of ownership and faith, is planned to be 25 stories high with about 42 powerful Raptor engines which can lift an entire Boeing 747, which is a large, long-range, wide-body airliner. In his plan to colonize the Red Planet, Elon Musk outlined that the BFR will push the Starship into space and that it will connect to a similar booster already put in place to provide support throughout the journey to Mars. Each launch of SpaceX Starship transportation will be facilitated by its reusable Starship rocket, which about thrice a day would carry a 1,000-ton payload on each flight. There are supposed to be 1,000 flights per year, carrying more than 100 tons of cargo on each flight, which gives us a total of 100,000 tons of cargo. These 100,000 tons of cargo will be in orbit ready for delivery on Mars. 1,000 Starships could send around 100,000 people every 26 months from Earth to Mars, because at that time the orbits are best aligned for interplanetary travel. Very interestingly though, the Earth and Mars align close to each other only once in a space of 2 years, which creates the window for quick passage. On one hand, most of the fuel would be used up in fighting around orbit, while there are supposed to be many tanker spaceships that will fuel the spaceship to make it to the destination. As difficult as it may sound, later on, the refueling of the ships will be done with the resources found on the planet itself. SpaceX ships use liquid methane and liquid oxygen as fuel, and it can be easily recreated on Mars using the Sabatier process. The process makes use of nickel as the agent to synthesize methane from the atmospheric carbon dioxide, and it can easily be extracted from the water ice located on Mars. With the calculations of SpaceX engineers, it's said that it would take about 26 months to generate a useful amount of fuel on Mars. The necessary power to make the Sabatier work would need about 56,600 square meters of ground based on solar panels, which can be simply moved to Mars in a single Starship. Until now, everything might seem just so easy and very doable as well. I'm sure some of you might even have believed to experience the red soil in this lifetime. But there are a few things that need to be dealt with. SpaceX first needs to tackle the transportation issue, but once it's done, it has much more to deal with. It will need to dig the Mars' surface to access the subsurface water. On top of this, deep subsurface encampments need to be deployed as well to protect the human colonies from harsh ionizing radiation. Another important issue is the communication setup link between the two plants. However, we have a solution to that: the Starlink satellite. Talking of Elon Musk and his aspirational ideas, solutions, and issues, it would not be surprising if he thinks of deploying autonomous vehicles like cars or trucks to carry out certain missions for humans inhabiting the red soil. However, the use of this vehicle is still not very clear, but it could be used for so many things. These vehicles might as well be used to move requirements for refueling. We are very well known for the ambitions that Elon holds. He wants to equip Mars soil with all required necessary cargo and equipment to facilitate further expeditions. The basic need would be to surely make a way to generate energy. The SpaceX engineers would also need to gather oxygen and methane from the Martian air, which could be used for the Sabatier process of refueling. Elon also has plans to plan for the future. He already needs to calculate the possible future hazards and how they will be dealt with. The infrastructure for dealing with these hazards is very important. A launching pad would also be required for further explorations and the possibility of sending manned ships. However, no matter how fast all of these issues are dealt with, if the red soil ever gets accustomed to the sustenance of life, the first ever set of people to inhabit it will surely be colonies of astronauts. This would make things easier for everyone, as the first ever colonies would study the environment and further explorations, thus subtracting the doubts of immediately building a habitat. Elon Musk has proposed that the Mars base would be ready by 2028. However, many life support experts have expressed doubts over the availability of such advanced technologies, especially those that would be helpful for sustenance. It's become common to see that Elon has a knack for achieving the unachievable, but this time it deals with humans and real lives. He plans to not only inhabit Mars but use it as a substitute for living after Earth would be the unbearable planet to live on. What Elon plans and what will be achieved can only be known in the future. Until then, we can only listen to him and his aspirational projects to colonize the Red Planet. If you like the idea of inhabiting Mars, then like the video and share it with your friends so that they know just where to look when you're old and experienced. Do not miss to subscribe to our channel, Just Tech, and push the notification bell icon to stay updated on more tech-related stuff.